Robert, welcome back to your latest update. Now we'll be talking the latest on Antoine Semenyo to Manchester United. We have some huge news coming in. We'll be talking about Chelsea coming in for Semenyo. We've got some news on his actual choice and what he's going to make. We'll be going through all the news, reviewing it, and giving you my thoughts. So let's get into it now. It come out a few hours ago. Shortly after I talked about Semenyo making his choice today, earlier on in the morning. And this is kind of what has been said and what's happened since. So apparently Chelsea have come in for Semenyo in the last couple of hours. And they were attempting to snatch the Antoine Semenyo deal off Manchester clubs. Chelsea came into the table on Monday evening. Semenyo was born in West London and has an affiliation with Chelsea. Now, linked to that Semenyo deal could potentially be Xerxes going, and apparently United do not want Xerxes to go anymore. Could that potentially mean we ain't able to secure that deal for Semenyo? Now, there's no certainty that Chelsea will make a move or join the race for Semenyo at this stage. However, they checked the condition today for that deal. This is what Areola had to say. He said, personally, I don't want to lose Semenyo, but the market unpredictability means anything can happen. Manchester United are ready to change the system if they convince Antoine Semenyo to join the club. I mean, that's something which we'll talk about because I think that's a very interesting point. Manchester United are pushing a lot for Semenyo. And then apparently in the last couple of hours we've had this. Antoine Semenyo is leaning slightly towards Man City. He has started the process of deciding his future as Chelsea became the latest club to register an interest in the Bournemouth forward. The two Manchester clubs are believed to have the most concrete conversations thus far. Until Chelsea entered the fray for Semenyo between late on Monday night, it looked like the two-horse race between United and City, with Semenyo leading slightly towards City. And then this is the latest thing that's come on. Antoine Semenyo will prioritise joining a club that he can provide him with what he views as the most suitable project to complete for major trophies on a long-term basis. The location and impact on his family will be a contributing factor, with a decision expected in the coming days. As Semenyo reflects on his option, he does not want the saga to become a long, drawn-out process. So listen, we're expected to get a deal soon. Well-placed sources insist interesting clubs are willing to pay a very similar financial package to Semenyo, whose final decision will be made with an emphasis on his personal sporting ambition. So, listen, what you can say about Semenyo, he's going to join the club that he wants to join, which is obvious anyway. Now, all the clubs, all the top clubs will be obviously interested in signing Semenyo. If the Manchester United poll kind of works, it'd be quite outstanding, really. But I think I'm excited to see what does happen. If Semenyo joins, I'm very, very happy. I think he's a very, very good player, fantastic player with a lot of sort of quality that he can add to this team. And again, he's going to make a decision soon. So I think in the next few days, we will find out because United need to, if they want to kind of accelerate the deal or get the deal done over rivals, they need to get it done as soon as we can in terms of when that market opened on Thursday, the 1st of January. So the latest is Chelsea have come calling in for Semenyo. Again, Manchester United willing to change the system for Semenyo, which I thought was interesting because if you go back to that famous quote by Ruben Amorim, not even the Pope will make him change his system. So is that something internally for Manchester United to say to Ruben Amorim change the system? I don't know, to a back four, because there's been no talk about Ruben Amorim changing it until today. So we will have to wait and see. In terms of changing the system to a 4-3-3, talks are at the moment that United are willing to do that for Antoine Semenyo, so we will have to wait and see what happens on that decision. But again, that is the latest. City come calling, but again, they're just trying to understand the situation. City and United are the two clubs that remain interested. If he is to join one of those clubs, it's likely to be City at this moment. However, he is still going to make his decision depending on his personal sporting ambition. So again, you look at where City are more stable, probably offering more money, Champions League football. But again, is he willing to come to Manchester United, the biggest club in the world and the best club in the world? So, yep, that's it. I'm going to leave it there on Semenyo. The next thing I'm going to talk about now, will be Bruno Fernandes. So, let's talk Bruno Fernandes now. This is what's kind of been said on Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United fear that the injury to Bruno Fernandes isn't as long as they expect it to be, with him expected back in the Manchester United team in the next month. So again, I think that's a positive. Listen, we know how much Bruno means to his team and the quality that he has. Now I'll go through the quote, what has been said. Oh, sorry, not what's been said, but what has kind of come out from sources. So yeah, Manchester United assess the Bruno Fernandes deal as not long as they expected it to be, with the player expected within the next month. That's coming from Mail Sports. So listen, a month again is there's a lot of games, and I think he's definitely going to miss Newcastle. We know he's going to probably miss Wolves, probably Burnley, Leeds. Hopefully back for the Manchester derby. I mean that should be the aim. Hopefully Bruno is ready for that game. We need his quality. We need his tenacity. We need Bruno in the team. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Bruno Fernandes in terms of his exit from, sorry, his return to the Manchester United team. But that is the latest on Semenyo and Bruno. In terms of other things, Mainu to Napoli looks very unlikely now. So again, I don't think Mainu will be leaving in this January window. We will have to wait and see. Personally, as we get closer to the window, I don't think Mainu will leave. Again, depending on how long Bruno's going to be out for as well, we will have to wait and see. But personally, I think Mainu should go out on loan to play for himself, really more to play and get some experience for himself more than anyone else. Really, he don't like United not giving him guaranteed minutes. If Ruben Amorim is to change the system to a 4-3-3, you'd have again. There's still no guarantee that Mainu starts. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what does happen with the Mainu situation. But that has been your latest Manchester United update. Um, Again, next few days we've got the Newcastle preview coming tomorrow, so we'll be previewing that game. And then we see what happens with the Semenyo deal. I'm trying to see if there's any latest news right now. Semenyo's released cost £65 million. Um, so yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, Chelsea enter the race for Semenyo. We'll see what happens there. Spurs offering Sporting Project. It just depends whether he sees as the personal best ambition for him. But again, that will all be going on now. So we keep you up to date what does happen. Remember, the deadline is for the 10th of January for Semenyo and United. We'll have to wait and see what decision is made. Thanks for watching. Peace.